just the way you hold it. I trust what they say you couldn't for. Tell them you let the people go. The single, I single. Did I cry for me? The single, I single. You marry but all I give me go. The single, I single. Did I cry for me? The single, I single. You marry but all I give me go. They get proud with it. Whenever I live you, they get problem with it. They get problem with it. Everything I do, they get problem with it. They get problem with it. Whenever I live you, they get problem with it. They get problem with it. Everything I do, they get problem with it. You too good, they will tell you about it. If you too bad, they will tell you about it. That is a spread over top of people. Something you're saying, you're telling people. So come on, for baby, say I'm a hero. I always say I saw that zero. For the teacher that I know, I can't be told they can cry you so. If what I saw, the thing you can do, like in lay you up there, like hey, you won't do. Don't let your life fight for you. I bet you can, like in make you be fun, like hey, you won't do. Let love be living, man, I want time. Keep the pocket, you're not coming back. Let love be living, man, I want time. Oh, you keep the pocket, you're not coming back. You want more left, you go more left. You want more left, you go more left. If you let them get, you won't let it take. I tell you my problem, please don't care. Going to tell me a perfect. I will not put my mouth on your breast. Anything you do, the people pause a ton. Anything you do, the people pause a ton. Why you sure scared to say you will go? You know, just the way you hold it. I trust what they say you couldn't for. Tell you that I can let it people talk. That single, I single. Did I cry for me? That single, I single. You marry but all I can people. That single, I single. Did I cry for me? That single, I single. You marry but all I can people. They get problem with it. Whenever I live you, they get problem with it. They get problem with it. Everything I do, they get problem with it. They get problem with it. Whenever I live you, they get problem with it. They get problem with it. Everything I do, they get problem with it. Shout out with my bestie. Come on, I'll get to eat my pussy. Another bite. Shall we do it?
Good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us here this evening. It's a little bit late behind time. Never mind. It's better late than ever. Sometimes these technical problems kicks in. Prince Tamba, Mr. Tamba, good to have you here. Abbott Gamin, good to have you here. Good evening. Welcome. Depending on where you're listening from, we say good morning, we say good evening, so good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio, and Lpr-Tv. Today is Wednesday, midweek, and this is All Things Considered. Right here, the Analysts backstage. We're going to usher them in very shortly for tonight's editions of the conversation. And of course, you can also definitely show you can participate. Even if you choose to have a certain talking point, just tweet and we would also express your view, your opinion. Well, however, whatever expressed on this network is not a view and opinion of the Liberia Public Radio, but we do facilitate these hardcore conversations. Welcome to the show. This is All Things Considered. Good evening, good evening. This is the sound, this is the rhythm that introduces the program, All Things Considered. Even good to have you. Good evening. I hope you're having a great time and hope that everything is going okay. I'm here tonight for the last few nights. The liberals and his ally have been having a lot of tabata trying to avoid real national conversations and all they're doing here is sort of try to remix so that you will be distracted because their guy is screwing up. But they do not have the guts to say here. The only thing they come here to say things to kind of like appease themselves and all of that. So, okay, good. I'm going to work on that and that will be all right. So, yeah, that's what I try to do. Just say things here. You know, their goal on this network to be the one to be the next sort of Michael Cohen type of Donald Trump to that of the United Party. They get one in Rhode Island here. The California-based guy is the most liberal. He managed to get another liberal from Delaware who is here to always try to stabilize things with his men because two of them, they are professional guys, they're analysts, security analysts, we understand. But they don't coordinate. They will kind of like try to give you a new sort of new face so that you can be informed. But we are here to keep them in check. And we make it fair, balanced, and proportional in terms of the kind of conversation that we're going to be having. We'll have here. When I'm on, I give them the full privilege. They will express themselves. But when the liberal is on, he connive with those guys. My own guy, own man Jerry, will not say anything. Moses, on the other end, he used to be in Rhode Island. He has moved to Delaware. He's been successfully indoctrinated by these guys, and they will change the topic. So it is meant Victor Namwe, Dr. Miles Jones are fighting, whereas the rest of the folks, the liberal and his ally, it continues to do what they are doing. They can't come back to fix it. Let me just bring them in and we'll have this conversation. So we want to welcome you. If this is the first time on this network, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. Today is a sort of special day. And what should I say? We all know the charge this evening because she's no longer a sister, she's like a mother now. Today is her birthday, Teresa. So, and I stopped over from work. Man, I can look at Mr. Spot and put my hands up until I don't even know what to grab. Let me bring in Mr. Jerry Bacon, is a security analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, a strong ally of Jose Numa Boykai, President of the Republic of Liberia. And of course, you see, if you have noticed, these guys, okay, they have changed overnight. There is a strength in power, in authority. When people are within the proximity of authority, everything about them. You see the other man. You see, other than get white beer now. Other than get white beer, so money.
And you ain't got
none.
You don't have no white beer.
No, my own that way. That brown. All right, gentlemen, good evening. Good to have you guys here. Today is Wednesday. This is All Things Considered. A lot is unfolding. Got a little bit distracted and a lot of things going on. And I've been saying some of the things happening here, the tabata here, the conversation being changed here on purpose by the liberal because he does not have the guts, but he kept pushing this narrative of this sort of blame game. The only thing we can do, we probably get him out to talk. We need action to be implemented. That's what we want now. This sort of excuses come here and try to do salad dressing here. We're sick and tired of it. Gentlemen, it's good to have you guys here. Let me come over right here in my own home state. The man who has abandoned me completely and now they're friends with folks that, whatever reasons, because that's the danger of politics, full a lot of division. Mr. Jerry Bacon, good evening. Good to have you here.
Good to be here, sir. Thank you for having me. Thanks to all
Okay,
radio listeners, and good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are.
Okay. Let's go to Delaware in the home state of former President Joe Biden. Joe Biden, Joe Boyka. There's some sort of a similarity here in terms of the names. Most, good to have you here. Thank you for what all you do for the community. How are you today?
Well, thank you. I'm doing just fine. A little under the weather, but we couldn't miss this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and I'm happy to be on today.
Okay. Let me just tell you upfront, whether you're on top of the weather or you're on the side of the weather, that would not negate the fight for us to have the conversation to what we're having. So do not incite anything by any chance here. Because the man on the weather, you can go on top of the weather. We will have the conversation here in a very
no excuses. No excuses.
Nothing. No, so don't come talking soprano tone here on the weather. Move on that weather. So we need to have a conversation. We are the ones supposed to say we are on the weather, we are on the water, we are submerged because of your policy, because of your things that you're doing. So we should be saying that, not folks like you. You guys, you're right, ferry. You are using boats. You're having great time. The people that are on the water is folks that Mr. Victor Nambwe, myself, we should be the one to be complaining that we are on water. Not you who goes to state power. Now you have authority anytime, any hour, you do whatever you want to do. So don't present yourself here as one of the victims. You guys are the victor, we are the victim. When Nambwe say I'm under the water, that is understood. Not you, not Jerry Bacon, not Terry, the political terrain, who on a vision is always, I don't want to talk here. Mr. Jerry Victor Nambwe, good evening. Good to have you here.
It's great to be here, Mr. So. It is a relief to be under the gavel of, not the Gestapo host, it is a relief to be here.
Yeah, I see that. Thursday is such a terrible day, but the last few days, when you come on, he gives you a 3 second and you allow Moses, Jerry back on, Sisse on the other side, the politician, mathematician, everything put together. And when even kept us in the cutting off.
Well, make it talk, my brother.
Oh, we gotta be talking. Other than that, these guys, you hear what he's talking? The one we should be saying, he's telling us that he underwater. Really? You on top of the water. We are the one that underwater need a life jacket to come out. They are in the back of them having a great time. Every weekend, cook our liberal on the other side. Every weekend, he killed goats and all of that. I don't know what they are doing, but it is what it is. Gentlemen, good to have you here. Today is Wednesday. I see Wednesday, Mr. Nambwe, as a day of redemption on the LPR. I see it as a day of where people gain their civil liberties, where people will be able to speak freely, where their voices cannot be sanctioned, where people will not have Chinese phone. They can't take this one. It's Wednesday is a night of cutting off the visitors. Moses doesn't want to listen. This is why he turned his camera on. But we will say what we want to say. Okay, I'm here. Back. But I know you heard what I said. So what?
I'm here. I'm not aware. I just turned my camera off because I'm doing something on the side that I don't want to distract.
Okay. What are you doing on the side, or you do it on purpose not to hear what I want to say? This is what they do. This is what they do.
He's consulting with a liberal in the background.
He's talking to the liberal now, and you want to see sooner or later everything going to go the way of. Okay, guys, good to have you. It's always here. lot of that been going on, but Wednesday is a special day. It's a selected day where people bring their own tabata on the board, and we all scramble over here and see where we are. So first come, first serve, and this is what we, I could choose my way to go to Mr. Nambe right now because we more or less on the same path, but I don't do it that way. I'm not used to it. And you guys are not going to create a situation that will compel me to. So, in the interest of fairness, Mr. Bacon, you started off here this evening. I will call you that. I will give that to you. Good to have you here. And too much is going on at the same time simultaneously. I don't know what is what, but let's go into your political playbook this evening and see what you have. What do you have in store for us?
Well, today in Liberia, I think it's going to be Decoration Day, and we say to our dead father and mother, for those who lost their relatives, family member, we say our condolences, and it's a redemption Decoration Day in Liberia, I believe. And it's a sad day, but that's what it is. We have to go through the process. And our savior who came on earth, he went through the process. So that's what it is. But yes, thank you for having me. Now, I'm less busy. I've been out in and out. Maybe sometimes I come in and out, but from now on, I'm less busy. So that would be very focused, like Ego's eyes. I'm going to be on you. And whatever you said, I'm going to do it. And Mr. Namwe, I see why you try to drag Namwe into you. But that's all right. We can fight our own battle. We have people that can defend ourselves. So we will not be intimidated, we will not be relentless, and we will we'll stand our ground and will not be intimidated. But thank you.
Anyway, he's trying to hang on something. When last you ever defended Namwe on this network? When Lebroy is being mistreating this guy, when was the last time you turned on your defense line that tonight you want to be like a poor man lawyer?
Yes.
This is disgusting. Jerry,
you can't defend anything at defense line. You can't defend anything at defense line.
Nobody doesn't need your counsel.
But say you falling alignment with him, that's fine. Well, we're not going to fight over him. Let him go where he want to go. That's the whole thing. So you got it right. Wherever he want to be, that's right. But that's the thing I want to talk about today.
The guy is panicking.
Something I've been thinking about.
Okay, all right. Let me bring in Mr. Moses Sebwe, who is our security analyst. You see, I put two of you guys together and make it much easier to exchange text or do whatever you want to do. People of the same group together, and I'm myself on the other end, so it's equal, no parting. Mr. Moses Sebwe, good to have you here. Let's hear you. I think a lot is going. I honestly like to get you guys, your counsel, your expertise when it comes to security here. That cannot be taken away, even though the political interest government is always on that tone if you look into it. But I do really appreciate you guys' expertise. Let's hear you more. What's happening from your end? What are you hearing? What's on your mind? All things considered.
Thank you. I know that Jerry did not complete his thing to tell him what was on his mind, but let me say this, Mr. So, as I always said on the show, security officers are now politicals, and so you try to drag her in your people, you guys, your people all the time. When you come and say those things, it doesn't faze me because I know I'm not your people. We're not on any side of the Liberian people, and that's where I'm at. So my concern today has to do with, I got pretty emotional yesterday and today watching a particular video. I'm sure that video been circulating, and most of our people are dying of preventive care in Liberia. But when you have an accident where a dump truck airborne and landed on the tight sea, I don't know how your stomach was, but I was turning. My stomach was turning. I mean, I became very emotional. How come these things happening in a country like Liberia? And look at the response system. So I want to speak a little bit of that and just present some suggestions. Whoever takes it and runs, fine. But I think with the population in Liberia, in Monrovia, specifically in Monrovia, people have to start doing some preventive care work.
All right, just do your bit after we go through the room, and then I will come back to you.
That. So thank you again. Please, you keep putting up in the fight with the liberal and this and saying y'all. We're only here to serve the Liberian people, our country. Honestly.
Who the catfish let them wait. Wow. Mr. Nangwe, they are sent for the other, they said they have sent for the other guy from Pittsburgh. This is unbelievable. The Pittsburgh guy here. The thing about it, they are the dropout politicians of these other political parties that went a roll. And so what they did, they decided to recruit all of them. And so they're here to always back the devil. Let's bring in Dr. George Toto, ACE, a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio and supporter, formerly from, I don't know how many parties he have aligned himself with. Anytime there be a party, he join to the winning party. Anytime there be a party, he join LPP.
Yeah, but I said we had to support the regime party.
There you go. Okay, welcome, Dr. Toto. Well, let me go to first come first serve. Let me go to Mr. J. Victor Nangwe, based in the Garden City area. There, one of the independent voices. We speak up objectively. We say if we don't appease.
My hair on my head.
You like you want to get that again? Put your phone in your head.
Thank you very much, Mr. So it's good to be here, and good evening, Dr. Toto. I consider Dr. Toto an ally. I think he tells me, but he walks a minute of the line. Never mind the preemptive strike from Jerry and Moses. But we will tell them like it is. What they say, what water can do to rock. But it is good to be here. I know we'll get on with the show, but a few things I just want to sound out. One is the regime speaker and his group. These guys, they seem so anxious to legitimize themselves. They're now trying to play the role of the judiciary. They grab this Chinese man case, which has absolutely nothing to do with them. And they want to insert themselves only because they want to be seen as legitimate. So the Supreme Court, I think, was in its absolute right to tell them to back off. So that was pretty interesting, even though the Chief Justice, who is retiring come June 26, I think she herself, she is realizing the confusion. And she, according to the New Dawn, she's apologizing. So, I hope this is an indication of what is to happen on Friday. So we're all waiting with bated breath to see which side, this, decision is going to fall. But hopefully it's going to fall on the side of the rule of law.
Wow. They are coming. They're coming again. They are coming from all angles to solidify their argument on this network here. But now we got to stand our ground. They are coming from Jersey. They are coming from Sacramento. They are in Rhode Island. They are in Delaware. Baden there. I don't know how you doing, whatever. Dr. George Toto, good to have you. Let me bring in the most liberal, the one who leads the conspiracy on this network and has managed to do a massive recruitment. He's here. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Also, let me greet Jerry, Alfonso, and Moses in the studio. We're going to be back on the show again for a couple of times. We'll be following development in Liberia and also following the network. Again, the network been one of the places to be in terms of disseminating information. So we here, and I must say that I am a product of the great labor.
You see? You see it? You see it? Somebody, where is Moses? Moses, is it when I say it, I know what I know what I'm saying. We are having a true confection. I am a product. Look, this is absurd. Dr. George Toto, to do yourself with this guy?
The liberal do good work. So we might give a flower to him while he's here around.
What's gonna work?
Exactly.
Work.
You see it. You see it. Actual speed out of the world. You see it in here. You see here product. You see productivity.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But it's good to be on the show, and also like what Victor was saying, the issue of the Supreme Court, and the legislators are serious. It's a serious concern, and all eyes are waiting, hoping to hear what will be happening coming Friday to see what interpretation will be given. It will be very crucial to move the country forward. And the issue of the allegation of corruption, I think, is getting out of here in this government. Affecting every sector, especially you go in or in the universities, the rural university, malpractices of corruption. I mean, it's just everywhere. It's something that's very concerning. To be very discussed. And like people just waiting, and I think when they don't post any information out, you don't see nothing happening until he was post before they act. And which I think is wrong for this government. I think that we need to really be to put it on front page.
So let me, before I go to Lpr here, I do not want people making inconclusive statement here. And that way I can hold this guy as a witness. He going to turn me away, deny me, I know not. Are you saying it's out of hand or getting out of hand? Because it's getting out of foot. Not even hand is getting out of foot. People not working again.
It is. I mean, the issue of allegation of corruption is getting out of control. I read on front page. I think yesterday today the issue in Lofa County, in the Lofa University, the allegation of the 5,000 missed application, people that are not even working the system, their own payroll, people collecting money. I mean, it just everywhere. All the sectors.
Are you embarrassed?
Better,
Are you embarrassed of the?
I am.
The 15-year experience that we've seen is extraordinary. Are you embarrassed, Dr. Toto?
I would not say I'm embarrassed, but it is not good for the country. That's all.
So which other word you want to use?
Don't worry about it.
Find a accommodation here. Are you disappointed?
I would say I'm disappointed. This is where we are now to discuss the issue. We are here to discuss the issue. For the government.
I'm giving you the last chance. Dr. Toto, I'm giving you the last chance for the clear and precise descriptions of your own talking point. Are you embarrassed?
Also, I would say that I'm embarrassed. But the news is that they are good for the country. It affects every one of us. All the various sectors. When there's a corruption, it affects the health system, it affects the sector of the country. So we work for the government that we support the government that will help to gain power to be strong on the issue of fighting corruption. That's what we're talking about.
Okay. What I'm going to turn, there's nothing I want to get out of it, but I will let them to show themselves who they are, what they represent, and how they always navigate across stuff. The liberal progressive. He alluded that he aligned himself. Your philosophy, your political ideology is being embraced by the total world and that of the background world with the single word and all of that. But coming out of him tonight, that the corruption, the cases, he's disappointed, he's embarrassed. I'm not sure whether you are the same way. Good evening, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. So. The Gestapo that is being referred to by Mr. Nagbe is here tonight. But I am yet to salute to Hitler. I might be practicing perhaps some of his people being seen. We just want to be truthful. And when we come on the platform, we are ready to deal with whatever it is. You guys are conservative. And so whenever you come on my platform, I approach you from that perspective. I don't want to give you the platform to try to spew your conservative ideas on my platform. And so I try to make you feel like you're liberal. And you felt cornered. And because you have to speak some liberal languages. Now you think I'm Gestapo now trying to bamboozle you to now anytime you come on, I will enjoy myself. Because when you come on, you will speak the liberal language. But let me say this, Mr. So. What Dr. Toto is talking about is that we all agree on certain things, that we all agree there are certain principles in life that we must adhere to. And these are the principles of the liberals. We will not allow you, like for example, what you try to do here, you're asking Dr. Toto to see if he's embarrassed. He said, no, Mr. So. Yeah, I'll give you one more chance. Are you embarrassed? No, Mr. So. To be embarrassed of something is when you do not have the opportunity to see how to resolve whatever it is. But Dr. Toto is telling you, without you even realizing, to say thank you for the opportunity. I am not embarrassed, but giving me the opportunity to express myself and talk about what you think I should be embarrassed about. But of course, as a conservative, you guys have no feeling of any redemptive spirit or whatsoever. You guys believe everybody belongs to Bella Yala. Mr. So and Mr. Namwe, we are here to tell you there's no more Bella Yala. You do it wrong, we take you to court. If the court says you go to jail, they give you time. When your time over, you come out. We're not going to give you 50 years in Bella Yala like the conservative Liberian TUI party that many of you are subscribed to before you come to America, the liberal America, liberal free you from our bondage. And I think we're happy to have you in our corner. You will speak the liberal language, man.
So this confused liberal. Let me tell you, liberal, I have absolutely nothing to do with the TWP in my lifetime. I come from the progressive community.
You
Hold on. No, you are not going to be disrupted here tonight. You are not conducting. You said you
went to Boston High School. You know what Boston High School is?
Yes, Jamaica Road.
Those are the people that used to carry the carry flag for TUI party during our right. They always carry flag for TUI party. Why do you think we can be singing a song?
And I also went to Tottenham High School.
There is a lot of close relationship. He's my fellow cardinal. Liberal, you were talking here, nobody said anything.
Exactly.
This is what you do to him, and Gerald Bacon will not say nothing. Moses and will not say anything, and you think you're gonna. That's not gonna work on my program, on my watch. So please give him chance. You talk all your tabata. He's ready to respond.
No, actually, Jerry is gleeful, but he's actually excited. I can see Jerry with a smirk on his face. But you know what? The liberal will not bully anybody. He can come here and scream and yell. We all know he doesn't have a battle tonight. No, you'll go grab it soon. But let me just say this. First of all, if Dr. Toto is not embarrassed and yet is not encouraged, then what is he? You have to either be sad or you're happy. You can't sit in the middle. That there is in purgatory. For Christ's sake, say it like it is. That's what we're saying. And that's why Mr. Sue is giving him the lifeline to actually liberate himself, because he's digging himself a hole. He's not happy yet. The corruption is too much. He's not happy. So are you embarrassed? Yeah, no, I'm not embarrassed. Oh, are you happy? Are you encouraged by what you see? No, I'm not encouraged. Well, where are you?
Boy, Adam,
tell us where you are.
Mr. Dagwe, I think we have the opportunity to discuss the issue, right? That's why we are here to discuss the issue.
So, Moses,
sir.
So your guys came. I have no question. I have no doubt you are part of the group. Dr. George Toto said he's embarrassed. The corruption is out of hand.
No, that's escort me.
I thought that's what he just said.
That escort me.
Wow. Didn't you say you embarrassed? I mean, it's not
don't put word in your mouth.
I said that I am concerned about the alleged high rate of corruption.
It's out of hand.
That is getting out of hand. I'm concerned. I'm concerned.
Okay.
We're concerned.
All right. They're getting concerned. They not tend to concern citizens. I don't know. We should be concerned. You shouldn't be concerned. Everything is okay with you guys. Why you started being concerned, please? Okay, Mos.
Yes.
Quickly here. Are you concerned in the case of Dr. Toto, George Toto?
We all are concerned. I am concerned and have been concerned for many years. The issue of corruption did not come to this level when Barker took over a year ago. The corruption in that country has been perpetuated over decades. To say today that the corruption in Liberia is overwhelming is unfair to this administration. I will speak truly. Number one is that there's something we know in law enforcement. And it is that if you're going to execute a new ordinance or a new law and you start to track what happened, that's what they say pre and post. When you try to do pre and start to track the incident that you want to address, you will find out that that data always goes up. Because now you're putting attention on it, that's why you're seeing more of it. But because you did not put attention on it in the past, didn't mean that it didn't exist. And I think that's the situation here. With all the different departments, with the international community coming up and talking about how Liberia is corrupt, it's bringing more attention to Liberia now than it did in the past. So as a result, you will see more of that going up because it's giving you a different perspective of accountability and transparency. So when you execute, you see more. Then you have to find the solution for trying to address that issue. And then you can measure. You will have a yardstick. This was happening. This is no longer happening. I think that's where we find Liberia today.
Moses.
We're not saying that. I'm not saying that at any point in time in this administration, no one in there is corrupt. But this corruption been going on for decades.
Look, Moses, you guys need to stop.
I know.
You need to,
but because it's being tracked now, you will see it vividly everywhere. From the judiciary to the executive to the legislative body, everybody.
Okay. And hold on. Let me hold you right there.
Most of the people are compromised because they do favors for each other.
Okay. Let me hold you right there. I am not roller skating. Okay. I'm not on ice here. I asked a specific question, and the question was pointed.
Oh, yes.
Hold on. We're talking about this. Dr. Toto said the corruption in this government is out of hand, is concerned, and I gave him the opportunity for redemption. Are you embarrassed? Are you ashamed? Is that something that is a nightmare for you?
He said alleged corruption, Mr. So please, we're all still here. Now you're gonna take this thing and take it all the way on the left, on your right side.
Now, you asked me the question, Mr. Sewell. I'm trying to give you my honest assertion on it. That when you start tracking corruption in any administration, that data be higher. And it's concerning. It's absolutely concerning. So now, let's see what the government is going to do to address.
Why is it concerning, Moses? Can you tell why?
That's a point Moses trying to get me. Let's see what the government going to do.
Has always been concerning, before the war and after the war. And we have a long list of what happened after the war, where Ellie got there, where we got there, and now that we see it, at least there's something that is happening. We're now seeing the data. We're now seeing what's happening. So there must be some mechanism in place to really start to record. And when you start to record those things, that's when you see that number go up. And you guys are professional people, you know that. Every time you do those kind of research, your data number always go up.
Okay.
And that's how we begin to see today.
Okay.
So let me ask you this.
Mr. Nabi, I'm coming. Let me welcome the Reverend. I'm not sure what are the whole of scripture with him. He hearing the Sunday school lesson for his guys. I don't know whether he prepared it and send it to Pittsburgh for Pittsburgh.
Mr. So, could you please give me 1 second, please, of your time?
Why again?
Just please, I want to say this here. I welcome all of you guys, but I think I will excuse myself so that the other panelists will have good time and opportunity to express themselves well with the 2 hours or so that you have allotted to the program. So I will now take leave of you guys and say thank you very much for the wonderful show.
I want to say something before you leave.
So no. Why is he leaving? Is he avoiding this conversation tonight?
I think the key is too hard for him tonight.
After throwing all of his unnecessary tantrum, when last he has is it a first time?
Jerry, I will listen to you on the radio, so I will just excuse myself and say, okay. Terry, Rescue 2 is here, and you are here, Jerry. Dr. Toto is here, Moses Sigbe is here. I need to reduce the numbers a little bit, so at least there will at least an opportunity to be able to put 1 or 2 cents into the conversation, because the conversation is not going to go well for them tonight. So I don't want to pile on that on them. These are our brothers, and we respect them. So thank you very much, Mr. So. We will see you on Friday. Thank you very much, and I will say good night to all of you.
Thank you, Olebra.
A big shame.
After the good on it's a real shame. I mean, I think he knows what's coming tonight. But it's okay. But see, what I wanted to ask Moses is, he's talking about barometer and numbers going up and all of that, and I get that. But what I want to ask is this. First of all, if you come to tell us,
let me just welcome Collins. Our in the process of welcoming Collins, and the Liberal just intruded. Mr. Collins, good evening. Good to have you here.
To everybody, it's the soul.
We're not. What? These guys are completely dispositioned tonight. The other one, you're not trying to sign language, man. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. But let Mr. Nambe carry on, and I will come back to you to tell us what's on your mind. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, Terry. Don't be embarrassed. Speak. You know, Dr. Toto says he's not embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed.
Okay. No. Yeah, listen, folks. I'm not embarrassed.
Victor is speaking because a lot of you're doing why?
Hold on. You see, can I speak now, please?
I thought I was speaking.
All right, go ahead.
I just wanted to put it to Moses, right? When you come into office and you tell us you are not coming for business as usual, right? Because your argument is what is happening has been happening before. So basically, what we have is the same old. Then what is the point of you coming if you're going to come to perpetuate the same old? No, look, you go to Lpr Telecommunications, right? You fire the commissioners because of an audit report, but you leave Abu Kamara in place to run the institution, who himself was also implicated in the audit report. Is that not business as usual?
Well, I'm just, Mr. Nabi, to briefly answer your question, the only thing I'm telling you is data gathering, because when you do those action, it tells you, when you start to track things, you see that number always goes up. And you know that. Every time you try to correct something, you see the number go up. And that's what we're speaking to. And you will see the corrupt practices. When Torba came to office, what did he do? What was the first action he took? He told the ministers. He went to visit 2 ministers on schedule, not even scheduling. When he got there, they weren't there. He fired them and put the deputy minister in place. Everybody started going to work. So on time. You cannot work. You couldn't work for Torba, and he's in his office and you're not in your office. And he said that. So when you talked about what we're seeing today in corruption, maybe there's and I can say that there's some actions that are being taken.
Like what? Like living double jala at LRA when
no.
when Amin Moda gets fired for the same reason, I mean, who gave Amin Moda the car? Wasn't it Double Jala?
I'm talking about personalities. I'm talking about process and systems.
Okay.
That's what I speak to. So everyone needs to be held accountable equally. At no point am I accommodating somebody who was mentioned in a corrupt practice to take over the office. I don't encourage that, and I don't think that it's proper for the administration to do that. I'm saying at least they have those records to show, and that these records, as you say, it needs to be exposed. And that's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
And action really need to be taken, not suspension, but termination and prosecution.
So, okay, then the second portion after terrorists point, then we want to know who should take those actions and talk about prosecution. Let's hear about, you guys, for what, I don't know, look, you think you want to give us headache, but that headache will go back to you people. You guys want to be taking 1,000 milligrams here because you think you want to do it on purpose so that we can't come here. Mr. Collins, what's on your mind? Today is all things considered. Terry.
Oh yeah. Well, on my mind was a lot of things going on in the country as usual, and one of those things happened to be like the scene corruption you got talking about. That guy that was on today talking about the rice, the Japanese rice. I think, and conflict of interest and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know why Liberians are not given the opportunity in their own country to sell the rice, to partake in the economy. And I think that is causing a serious problem for us to make progress when you keep giving the rice to other people. But Mr. Nang, we are talking about Double Jala is from the CDC. He was there before. He's not a United Party government guy. And I don't think the president can just fire him like that. I think he's serving in a tenure position. I could be corrected.
Oh, wow. No, my goodness.
So there are processes that must be followed for him to be removed. And there are some instances that they told us that there are some things that can be wrong, but it's not illegal. So if the man provided monies for all these things, you need to have proof to validate that he's corrupt before you can fire him. You can't just say, the man corrupt, the man did it because spoon talk and other people running with the news. Oh, they. Then we just tell the man, we fire the man. That is anything, up to now, people say, the report from these 2 experts or 3 that came to the country up to now, the police have not released the report yet. So it's unofficial. All the reports are passing around all over the place. We don't even know whether that is guaranteed or that Gassi or somebody created it from World Trade Center. So there are a lot of things going on in the country, Mr. So, but the issue of corruption, Liberia has been a corrupt country. From Joseph Jiggin Rao, it's not a today thing. The only reason why you and I can see it now is because Lpr is available. We can have the kind of podium where we can discuss the issue, we can highlight it. Soon somebody dance in the corner, somebody put a phone on them. You get self-imposed cameraman, you get self-imposed video recorder. It's not like before what people who do this thing, you have to pay them. Now you don't have to pay nobody. So it's glaring, we can see it. But the only problem, my disappointment in the president is you cannot wait until the media highlight somebody corrupt government officials before you take action. You yourself as a government have to do your own inner auditing. I thought that was going to be his position at the end of the year. At the end of the first year, I thought he was going to bring, like when they went to that retreat, to bring some auditing report and fire people right in that meeting. Fire some people. But, you have to do your own inner auditing. You have to present a posture to the country that you are in charge. You have to take some drastic action that will make people afraid of you. The people in the country is not afraid of the president. That is why people doing anything they want to do. Because they're not afraid of him. They have not seen that presidential authority. Not a dictator now, but they have not seen that position as a president to be harsh and determined to take some drastic action that will put everybody in a share. The people are not seeing that. So that is my own disappointment. I thought that he would have come on a retreat to immediately fire people and start talking about, oh, we got to look into medtech thing. It's not time for us to do government work. Fire people. Let us see 1 or 2 people being fired drastically. But that is
why I agree with rescue too. I just wanted to point out information. Mr. Jala was appointed by President Boakari. I think it was confirmed in February of 2024. But he delayed taking office until March of 2024 because he wanted to complete some tasks at his previous assignment. Quite frankly, I just looked it up. I myself.
But is his position tenure?
No, I don't. Yeah, I think it is. But I'm saying he was appointed by President Boakari.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the correction.
You're welcome.
So
I agree with everything you said, though.
You know, Mr. Nambwe, we are in a crisis. You know, look, we are not on the pulpit. We are discussing that Baptist way of preaching. You know, you know. Terry, look, you guys, come on. Y'all need to stop this kind of thing. I see Maury Jones there, all turning red. He wants to come in. Not Maury Jones, Jerry Backup. Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you happy with your guys here this evening? They
They
are disappointed. The corruption.
Yeah, I will agree. I will agree with some of the view, but here's the thing I want to stress on, and I mean my hair is on fire that you eat the hot pepper, and you know, the hair is on fire. But first, let me say this: Liberal have built an institution. He didn't build an individual. So let's get that straight. He have built an institution. So I wanted to say, Liberal, thank you. You have built an institution. And the institution will function when you are gone. It will still function. That's what it is. What I think what we're doing in Liberia, we don't build an institution. So he have built an institution. That's number one. But here's the thing. Terry, to a point. In Buchanan, the beginning of this year, when they went for a retreat in Buchanan, I think it was January or February. And the agenda of launching the rescue agenda or the access agenda. My question is, I mean, it bothered me yesterday. I was going to work and I was listening to the radio in Liberia, and these are the questions. Who are the people that are setting the president agenda in his cabinet? The rescue agenda. Because you need a surrogate who will set the agenda. The president has said, this is the administration assets agenda, arrest agenda. Nobody in his cabinet will say, yes, we're taking the torch or we're taking the baton and run away and say the president say, this is our arrest agenda. I mean, it's a serve to the president. When the president appoints you and says, this is the agenda, we're making the same mistake, Josh, we are making your administration. The proper agenda. It was not articulated. It was never went anywhere. Nobody. So this thing happened for you to learn a lesson. Quick, before I know all panelists that will come in. We got Monserrato, Magiri, Bomi, Kimau, and Babolu. If you go farther south, you got maybe Bassa or Bon County, and you go central Liberia, Nima County. You can visit these 7 or 8 counties within in a Western department, and you can sell your agenda. Where are the people? The president can take a day trip to any county. He can go to Bomi. He can go to.
Y'all gotta find a helicopter.
No, we need helicopter. The roads are clear. So my point I want to make here is, who is setting the agenda of the president in his cabinet? My dear brother, sister Howard, listener, who out there? Some of we are a little bit older, but when Toba say total involvement for higher heights, and people were really falling for it. When they say year of discipline and responsibility, it was something that his cabinet followed. So these are the things. The record is there. What are the people who in the present administration, what are they doing? Come to corruption. I always say on the show, the first day I came on the show, I have written article over article. What we have in Liberia, I agree with the corruption issue, but what we have in Liberia is a white-collar crime is a problem that we are facing in that country. Until we can address the white-collar crime and organized crime in Liberia, these are the two things that are killing us. People are sitting behind the computer who were Kosu and Tai, you must say, were Kosu and Tai. These are the people who are committing the crime. Not the people who sit in wheelbarrow on the streets, people who sit behind the computer and just push a party. These are organized crime in the offices. These are the people who are supposed to go after. The conclusion, the Minister of Justice, but now they should have a unit within the Ministry of Justice to fight the white-collar crime, organized crime within the Ministry of Justice. Who will do this investigation? I pause. My head is on fire.
Let's see here if we can hold politicians accountable in their own words. But Mr. Nambe, you can see here overwhelmingly the frustrations, the disappointment, how these gentlemen are, and how perplexed. But let's listen to this and see what Terry was saying is what is happening.
To know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood online, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear message, declare your assets, make sure that we are prepared to audit the outgoing government so that they tell the Liberian people of their stewardship, and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves.
Okay. Cherry.
Yes, sir.
What are these some of these concerns you were expressing?
Yeah, Mr. So these are some of the concerns. I think the president is slow in his approach to things, especially given the fact that previously there was a military coming up on the street. Up to now, he didn't speak to it. Even I think only Madam Sirleaf spoke to it. You know, he have not spoken. He have not given the country some kind of hope that nothing is going on, that he's fully in charge. Since the military and the police had that fracas, you know, we really don't understand. But I'm not disappointed that Labor, I'm what his name, Breakable talking here. With all of this, I still believe President Boyka is 100 times better than former President We are Breakable. So I'm sorry for disappointing you. But the truth of the matter here is that I want to see my president taking measures. I don't want to hear my president talking, you know, in that kind of tone at this time of the year, given the fact you got a Capitol burn, you got police coming on the street, you got motorcyclists demonstrating. There is from one problem to another, from one inconcession, and nobody have been fired.
Okay, nobody have been fired.
No major. You have not spoken to the country. You have not taken no drastic action as a leader. That's why the people don't have fear for him. They're not afraid of him.
Well,
And I think Mr. Simba Pressure was going over the road. He had to drink 2 gallons of water. I think. Moses, are you okay? Because when I played that, you took a deep breath.
yeah,
What prompted? What was going through your mind?
I think that the Excellency Joseph Yemaboka means well for the nation. What we have in Liberia is a cluster of individuals who have taken hostage to that country. And taken hostage to that country based on their affiliations and building cliques. And
Okay.
I can tell you that.
Let me hold you right there. You were carrying on. No, you were carrying on. I just want to get something right. So, is it fair to say a couple of years ago, year or two ago, were those same group of people in different forms were holding the government, were holding things hostage as well?
Absolutely. It's been going on over years. Since Ellen got in, Ellen had her own group. And that when you see that the legislative body, the corruption within the legislative body and cannot be corrected, then it perpetuates the whole system. Because one of the things that needs to be put in place that is lacking, and I keep saying it, law and order. Absence of law and order creates anarchy. It's resolved to anarchy. And if you don't have law and order in place to prosecute, to correct these things, it's going to perpetuate over and over and over and over. And that's where we find ourselves. And that's what I try to give you the analysis, that when you start to track something, that data is vivid. Now, it takes you to take action. So now what Collins is speaking to and what Jerry's speaking to is exactly what needs to happen. Now the old man, the Excellency needs to put a foot to the fire. But again, we don't know the parameters for which he is working out of. Most of the individuals I think around him are the one who's supposed to really go out and execute the orders. But how accountable are they being held for executing the order? What is it? That's what I said earlier, that not only that when you're caught in corrupt practices, like the first minister of commerce, that was supposed to be a prosecution. Like the NOCA lady that got suspended, they should have prosecuted them to set an example. And that's what I think needs to be put in place. But again, the law needs to be put in place by the legislator to do just that. But when you got corruption within the legislative body that have resulted to burning our capital, then that tells you.
Okay.
You know, Moses, I agree with you until you come in with a legislature, then you just lost me there, because you just rightly said, for instance, yes, if the people are exposed or are caught in corruption, let the president act. These are his appointee. What does the legislature have to do with any of this?
Well, there has to be law in place. Now, I'm going to make a reference to laws.
Oh, okay.
Laws.
Well, okay.
Because
Yeah,
you
you know, you can make that reference, but as far as I'm concerned, it has absolutely no connection to what we're talking about. Look, the problem, what is work?
Law in place to prosecute. And we don't have those laws, then we can't prosecute.
Oh, yes, we do. We really do.
You see, Moses,
plenty of them.
The laws that the laws being violated both by the legislature, the executive, so they find it very difficult to cherry pick. Okay, we'll implement this and we'll leave this, but the laws are there. You know, I know.
Let me,
release. I'm sure before that, the laws are there, but these laws have bluntly been ignored by this group of people who themselves violate the law, who violate the Constitution, who hijack the process, and their actions is being validated by people who are to enforce the law. That is the executive. So what are we, Dr. Toto?
So I've also like to buttress on some of the comment that Terry said. If you look at how President Bwega is functioning, operating, he clearly functioning on a liberal democracy principle, where in that he take time to follow the justice system and the process that involve in prosecuting people that involve in alleged corruption. And we see the LCC and other people are taking some steps. But how far have they gone to prosecute this corruption so that we can sit and look at? But processes have been put in place. All those have been for a alleged corrupt act. They have been sent over. The LCC have been doing some treatment where for people to suspend there for the first time in this country, like compared to other previous administration, where you don't even reach this far to have to discuss the type of corrupt practice that they are. It is true that while we want more of President Boyka to be involved in or in the executive aspect of it to implement some of the corrupt practice in Liberia, but the justice system is there to take for people to be prosecuted. If the Liberia are going through a lot, or somebody say, okay, we need a military coup back in the country. We have a military coup. Did they solve the problem in Liberia?
No.
We went to a civil war. Did they solve the problem in Liberia? No. So the issue of corruption is outnumbered in Liberia, but at least positive steps have been taken place to address the corrupt practice in Liberia, and people are being suspended. Whether they're going to be prosecuted or not, but at least we can see some positive steps that Boyka administration have taken to execute the issue of corruption in Liberia. But I don't think this is where I want to reach. But at least let's see some positive step in President Boyka in fighting corruption in Liberia, just to add it.
Totally.
Moses, you're muted.
Any other mission that has taken some actions in the last 2
So action have been taking place. You see people suspended. So people are there.
Look, gentlemen, let me tell you guys what the problem is. The problem is the president is selective in his action, and this is what blunts his action.
You can't
No, but let me get it fine.
Let me just finish. Let me finish. So if the
president here and they wanna do that, nobody say anything.
So the president goes to Lpr-Tv, he fired Wozi because Wozi did corruption. But then he goes to LRA, he leaves Double Jala in place. He fired Amin Moda, well, calls for his resignation. Can you tell me this is applying justice across the board?
Well, now I
feel like Double Jala.
So we're talking about consistency.
Consistency, yes.
Consistency.
We can go to LTA.
And there has to be some level of consistency.
Is he consistent in this case?
Exactly. Is he?
Well, that question remains for the administration to answer. Now,
no, you here. We are. This is what we are.
No.
You said. No, listen. You said you claim to be independent. You claim not to take a side, and so you should have the guts to speak your mind. So and I like the word you consistency. So my question is there consistency now?
If you want to change anything,
is there any consistency now?
Well, I can't give that judgment because I don't know of all the cases.
No, but of the ones you know, compare left and right, is there consistency?
I can't make that determination because I'm not there. No, seriously. Because we come here and we hear different stories. You know,
tell us your story.
I just heard about the dollar case just now when you mentioned it.
Oh my goodness.
No, seriously. I'm looking at, for me, when I look at Liberia, what I'm looking at things that are affecting the citizens directly. Like what I talked about earlier on that accident that happened on the over the accident that happened to Boys Town with that. You see, those are things that I'm looking at.
So
trying to stay away from the politics because as a security person, I'm looking at the safety.
I have a question for Victor. I have a question about Victor. Victor.
No, we don't want questioning you guys now. Victor can't answer.
No, let me ask Victor a question. What?
You not
Where is the
answer
report?
Victor question. You want to ask your own question?
Where is it? Well,
George, please pass it
where
through the
is the
host.
report?
Please
Where-
pass your question through the host and bring it.
Where is the report? Where is the report and allegation in the investigation that lead or double jala to be implicated in the
Okay, well, let me tell you. Let me say this, George. Let me say this. The reports were very clear. Double Jala was the one that bought the car for Amin Modar. That is out there.
So everything that came out.
You see,
And
Abu Kamara at TLA. Abu Kamara at
He didn't buy the car for Amin
He
Modar.
didn't buy the car. He didn't buy the car.
Mrs. Nambe, he didn't buy the car. That was an allotment that was budgeted for 3 cars. And Amin went ahead and bought.
And who approved? Who approved
the money to buy one?
It wasn't used for the purpose or intended. There are 2 things here.
Amin was the one who had the choice.
The government of Liberia has a limit to what a government official can pay for a car, not more than $45,000. Double Jala knows about that. He went and approved $96,000 for Amin Modar to buy a car.
No, it was for 3 cars. Amin Modar chose to buy one.
So
double Jala for that.
Yeah. They gave the money to Amin Modar for 3 car. He bought 1 car.
He bought one.
So what has happened? Okay, let's take that on the face value. So what has happened to Amin Modar from the executive side? Removing and say everything Sefini, right?
No, they removed his CEO, they removed the man, and he was sitting by the president at the United Party conference at Golden Hotel.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
This president,
and that's what
is just, for whatever reason, completely disconnected. And the reason Double Jala is still there because of his countrymen, period.
No, I don't think
and many other people are supposed to go, but this president deliberately downplaying some of these things, and you come here to defend it.
There you go again.
And then
the immigration boss, another paper, he not from Lofa.
But why he's well, this is why taking.
And what about the Minister of Internal Affairs, Terry?
Well, it depends on the kind of the magnitude of what is going on.
Okay.
First of all, look at
the president has discretion in the place that matter the most. It is true. If there are facts that can prove adequately that this is what it is, I believe he will take action. The only thing I am complaining about is that
when will we see this action being perfected? When this action will be perfected?
We got to keep talking. We got to talk.
Well, I'm not going to give myself sore throat. We you know how long we've been talking. Keep talking.
This is what we do. This is what we do right now to discuss the issue in a public gathering that we do today. This is it.
So we're having this discussion, and you guys are defending things that should not be.
We're not defending. Mr. Saul, we're not defending anything. That these people need to be terminated and prosecuted. So what does that?
Who has the power to?
How did that talk about defending people?
So who has the power to terminate and prosecute?
The executive.
Are they doing it?
Well, it's not for us to answer. We need to let them know they need to do it. That's
the prosecuting people.
What power do we have?
Y'all get Moses and water to drink, man. I beg you.
The prosecuting people.
Why are people run away here tonight? My goodness.
Gary.
That's
when people are selective, when some folks are selective of what's important to them and other things are not, that's why we find ourselves having these conversations.
Okay. All right. Jerry.
We want to talk about consistency across the board. So let's talk about consistency across the board. Let's talk about it. In the previous administration, how many people got suspended?
I am not going back. I'm not going back to my own country. I'm thinking about the one that comes.
Data for the previous administration.
No, you don't do this for us, please.
No, but you guys tell us how many people, how many times did they reshuffle their government?
Yeah, we don't care that come on we don't care that come on and give the data.
This is ridiculous. See, okay, Jerry. Are you taking us back to 2020? You want to take us back to 2020?
What happened there?
This is where Moses and Toto
Because
want
Moses and Georgia are looking in rearview mirror. We're moving forward and they're talking about
When
what
you're
happened
moving
before.
forward, you got to understand that what happened in the past affects the forward movement. You got to know what happened in the past to be able to correct the president, to be able to correct the
That's exactly
and
the
move
point
forward.
we're all making. If you look in the past and you're doing the same thing that was done in the past,
you-
which this past government was given one term, then you yourself, you're fixing yourself for a one term. You guys continue to compare yourself to the CDC. The CDC is done. And we're moving on. This is your time. You've been in there over 12 months.
Up to CDC, we're telling you the track that was left behind, the trajectory that in that slope going up.
And the trajectory that is Abu Kamara at TLA, the trajectory that is also Double Jala LRA, the trajectory that is also, I mean, where do you want us to go?
That's what we're telling you.
So
when are you going to start making a difference?
The thing here now, then we are completely apprehensive of this rescue process you brought to us.
Exactly.
It's you came to drown us, to put our hair in our bathtubs so that we will die premature death. That's exactly what you are telling. That's what you're talking. You're talking about going ahead, and you're telling us people were not reshuffled yesterday. So is it the pattern that he's following? You listen to what he said here. The thing that you want to play that over again.
You didn't see the hand pump?
You didn't see where he suspended people and fired people?
Oh my God. Yeah, this guy. Lord.
He's fired a few people.
Yeah. For the first time, it's also okay. You can. For the first time, we carry water, pour bon water to Papolu County.
And
you know, you gotta give it up. You gotta give it up.
The barrel of water. The barrel of water is more than the population of Papolu. So the people would take by water and all everything.
You know, Jared, you know, I think there's a reason why the Liberal left tonight. He knew what was coming.
The Liberal not here. Please don't talk about him. I beg you.
The Liberal came here, he low red and low land, so they say, no way here for me to
Look, can I come in? Can I come in?
Let me honest here.
Can I come in?
Put aside this party sentiment. Yeah, come in. Let's hear you.
No, look. You and your so-called co-host, elevated, consecutive view. The president is working at his own pace. You're not going to come and dictate to him to do what he wants to do. The man is a president of the world. You say, look, there will be prosecution, and you see that Samuel Tuer have been going to court, and people have been prosecuted. So what do you want for the president to say, oh, this is it? Look, the president is working very hard in this country. This is the first time in our country, former ministers have been prosecuted. People have been fired. People are still going to jail. So what? The question we need to ask ourselves is, you see, it's a new generation, especially the social media we have today. Edding time was none of that. Chad Taylor time was none of that. So today is a snap of the finger. So you must take that into consideration. But here's the thing I want to say. Hold on. Well, listen, sir. Can I get a time, please? You're not going to dictate to the president. He's the president of the Republic of Liberia. So get it clear. He is working on his turn. We'll see what's going on. But the president, look, he's very calculated. Look, that's what happened. What happened to the Supreme Court? Let's see what the Supreme Court going to say tomorrow. And now the president
will have to solve the problem. You taking it to the Supreme Court.
Hold on, sir.
This is ridiculous. We are talking about something here.
Yeah, now the word. Please give me the audience. Please give me the audience. You red wing here, come here and talk about liberal. You're right wing. Come here. Let me say this. The president now, from now to June, he will be able to appoint his own Supreme Court judge in his term. That's one of the best things that want to happen to President Victor.
But I thought you already appointed Johnson, and he appointed Seattle Johnson.
What am I saying? By the time his term is over,
Talk about Chief Justice now. Talk about Chief
you have
Justice.
about 3 or 4 justices on the bench.
Okay.
Mr. Lamwe,
Okay. So
Mr.
Terry,
Inquiry.
Jerry.
Lamwe,
Okay.
Point of inquiry.
Point of inquiry.
Yeah, Mr. Did you listen to the president when he said that too many people coming to him and he need protocol to restrict them? You heard that video?
That's a concern, of course. That's a concern.
Does that include you too?
No exception. No exception. I listen to it. No exception.
Terry,
No exception.
I just keep because you just keep.
Terrible, they're going to kick you out of the. They're going to kick you out of the. The leper is spinning right now.
Let me withdraw.
No.
I withdraw.
Don't be robust. Here's a question. He's the president. He said, "Look, I need some system to put in place because people are coming too much, and that will not give me adequate time to do the work." That's what it is. So he said, "Look,
you see,
but I mean, that's an indication. That's what it apply. That's an indication.
Yeah,
you don't have to come word by word and say, "Oh, listen."
But Jerry, yes, Jerry, if the president can do it.
Yeah, 1 second before you come in,
please.
You know, to lie is a very difficult thing. You see,
I'm not lying.
I'm not saying you lie. I'm just speaking in general. And to defend things that are not, and that's what the Terry can fall apart, because Terry more or less is spiritually minded. So I think the Holy Ghost hit him not too long ago and decided to put his head under the ball. But here is the thing: bear in mind.
I just highlighting some mistakes that all
this president is doing.
Small mistakes.
Everything that is happening is not in isolation. You remember Kula Fofana, the presidential press secretary, said, "Oh, the president come from where they go sleep. He don't read. We don't let the president don't listen to news. The president don't read. Really? So he come from up there. He just throw himself down. He go to bed. He want to know what's going on in the world."
That is not true. That is not true, because I started out with the president until 11 something. I started out with the president until after 11 o'clock.
The presidential press secretary.
But CEO,
the president is disconnected. He's out of touch with what is happening in today's world in Liberia. This is what so it looks like he's still packed somewhere, even though he's president, but he's still packed somewhere. For he to tell protocols to contain people, come on, Moses.
Wow.
Are you not embarrassed with this one again?
the president is so busy that he has time to go to Ghana and attend a friend's daughter's wedding. That's a president who is so busy attending to the poor business, Jerry. That's how busy he is. Let's face it.
That's a low blow.
Yeah.
But it's the fact.
Yeah, that's
Come on now. He used to go visit his girlfriend without telling the president of Ghana that he's coming. They had to stop him from going.
But this is why you came to make it different, Moses.
So is that why he paying back the Black Dragon Revenge?
No. Let me speak to that. Let me speak to the question that you asked, brother. So the fact of the matter is here, the president is the chief executive. He appoints lieutenants to go and do the work. And that's what we spoke about earlier when we talked about consistency in holding people accountable. The president is only one person. He can't be everywhere. He can't account for everything that is happening. So he trusts that people will do the work. And because the place is overwhelming, that position is overwhelmed by him, those people need to come back and make report. And it takes time for you to review those reports and see whether the action taken were appropriate or not appropriate, or you're going to investigate. You don't just hear something on the radio, and you got to understand the culture of deception in our country is so prevalent. You all know that. Deception. Somebody tell you, say, the car knocked my daughter down the street there. You really got to go see the daughter and find her, get the birth certificate.
Yeah, but the problem with that, though, Moses, is that the president is fully aware. You heard his statement.
That are working for the president needs to be consistent in checking on them and making sure that they're making report on their assignments and their objective of working with him. If there's a vision that they need to carry out, he needs to start tracking those things. And we all know it. He's very laid back, very slow to act, but at least we see some actions happening. You know, at least we see some actions happening. And so let's give credit
Moses,
what credit is due.
why
There's a lot of mishaps. There's a lot of mishaps. Knowing so, post-war, and giving our, other administration and what we had before, it's not easy to correct those things overnight.
Wow.
Who knew what was going to happen in the Capitol? Where are we with the Capitol? Why we don't hold them responsible?
Who's supposed to be asking? Who should answer that question?
For what happened at the legislative at the Capitol?
Moses, who's supposed to be answering? Who should be answering that question?
The legislators. Your speaker should be answering the question. How did it become that?
Are you guys?
Are your regime speakers?
Are your regime speaker?
Not the president.
Not the regime speaker.
Not the president. Not Fanatic Kofa. He was in charge. He was in charge when
push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, an opposition speaker will not push our agenda. We need to have our own speaker. So today, I'm a regime speaker.
Holding them accountable. That your speaker.
No. But all the saga happened under Fanatic Kofa.
We do that.
It happened under Fanatic Kofa watch.
Let the record be
this is after the fact. There's the record. It happened under watch. As a leader, you want to correct what happened.
Let the record be skipped.
Look, we've got to put it into context.
For some of us support the government, for some of us support the government, to not support what happened to the Capitol building. Some of us that support the government, but do not support what happened in the Capitol building. We respect the rule of law. Is
there any rule of law to considering what's happening here? Was there any push by this administration to make sure that there was a rule of law? What we are saying, there was a crime. This administration, from all indication, you see now, because he himself embarrassed, and this is why he's seeking to smoke the peace pipe after the damage has been done. Because this administration, the unity to facilitate to get up to this point.
And also on the show that we discuss the issue even Terry. If you go back to some of the playbook on the show, even Terry, we state on the show here that even though we support the Unity Party government, but what happened in the Capitol building, we fought against it. We kind of supported the rule of law. We said that we were even support of the minority black. We said the show here, we said that was against the rule of law, and we're not going to, for some, we're not going to support it.
It has not been resolved.
But yeah, so the issue has not been resolved. We saw the issue of the ultra-viral politics, everything played with it. So now with this, we and see what the build up information.
Wait this week, Jerry says we wait for June can Moses will tell us we wait for December.
Exactly.
Terry will tell us next year, January.
The Supreme Court will put us information on, right? So that way to see. But we are maintaining on the network when it comes to what happened at the Capitol building. Somebody that support the idea and we fight against on the network here.
All right, let's okay. I'll open the phone line here. Because I think the liberal knew exactly what was going to happen tonight, so he walked away.
Phone line. I just speak to that issue that I brought up. If you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about it, and then when people.
But before Mr. Segbe coming, can I just say something to that issue before we close on it? What I asked Mr. Bacon, the question is because I like JMB, is but there are some things you don't have to say it on the public news. Those things can be discussed in the back. I think Mr. Bacon understands exactly what I'm talking about as a security man here, Mr. Segbe.
You will not admit it. You understand it, but you're not admitted there.
You can be on TV. Then you be saying those kind of things, and you got friends, you got people.
Hey, I'm trying to say here too. So what difference it make? There
we go.
But you ordinary, you can't be president and say that kind of thing. So you thought that one liberal say you put a phone in your mouth when you president.
We have mess.
That liberal.
No, but let me just say this. We've tried to we've tried to express our thing on the president. There's some comments he made that when he was in Lpr, and the other thing when he went to Cohn's funeral, and there are some things he said and some of his actions that some of us really are concerned about, and we did mention it on this very show. In fact, the first thing I mentioned, the military takeover, the military wise, that incident 16 days into administration. I thought that was something that serious action should have been taken on that when that happened. But nothing was taken. There was no simple accountability, and it just went. They said they were investigating, and that was it. But Mr. Soul, thank you for the opportunity. I just want to say here that I was emotionally disturbed when I saw that accident in Boys Town. And I think the government, I would want to say this openly, especially to the IG and the people in charge of public safety. Some of these things can be prevented when you start to invest in the citizens. One of the things that I would highly recommend to those people for public safety is that they need to go. That Manoria is overcrowded. It's overcrowded. The least they can do is create a little communities in the different cluster of people, community of individuals who would know how to respond to those things. It was disturbing to see over 1,000, maybe more than 1,000 people trying to go and help and had no idea what to do. And people made it, they made the situation worse than it was. And when they lifted the car, none of those people knew anything but first aid, first responder, and whatnot. These are things that the police can start working with the community, build a group in every locality, give them some, maybe 6 weeks of training, of emergency response training, so that you can have captains, and then one to put a badge on when something happened, they can secure the accident scene, the crime scene, or whatever that is, until the proper people come, either paramedics, ambulance people, police people who's supposed to follow the investigation. Because we know transportation is very difficult. These are some of the things that you can do in those clusters that can start building relationships between police or law enforcement and people servicing themselves. Because that situation, there were over 1,000, 2,000 people over there knowing nothing what to do. And I think if you have a 15-person who were trained, they would have held some of those people back and secured the place for proper action. I was really disturbed by that. And this is something I'm going to put in writing, and I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it because our people are getting hurt. It's terrible. It's terrible. These things are all prevented. You can do preventive measure for these things.
Okay.
It doesn't take much to do that.
All right, Dr. Toto?
Yeah, thank you. This is a very good discussion tonight. And let me just, why I have Mr. Dagwe on the show today is so good. He's the insider from Yula. And let me take the message. Yeah, Mr. Dagwe is a Yula insider.
Why you
Let me take the message to the leadership. We were in leadership before. A lot of people have reached out to some of our special to be. They are very so concerned. They are very asking questions. They say that, oh, we let the Yula, the Yula people send communication to Donald Trump for the possession of the government of Liberia. My response was that I'm not in Yula leadership. I have no idea. I don't know how the leadership is running, what they do. I have no idea. So, Mr. Dagwe, these are some concerns. I think they're out there. People are very concerned about misinformation, the news that are coming out from the diaspora, people calling on the government, the American government, the possession. I can recall when I was chairman for Yula, the State Department invited us to go to the State Department to want to engage or to ask us a question related to Liberia. But I don't know if at all that was a different time at that time. So, but these are some of the concerns that people have been reaching out to ask the question. So, as a EULA senior person, you can take the leadership, you can consider to address some of the doubt of the concern of the people that ask this question. And the discussion tonight with the soul, like I said, in Liberia right now, we are all concerned. We can laugh, we can do the talking, we can do the joke, but we are concerned the level at which things are happening in Liberia in terms of fighting corruption. Whether the administration is doing extremely well to fight corruption or combat corruption, but the allegation of alleged corruption is just climbing up. Every time you go in the news, you go to the newspaper, you see some form of allegation of corruption. Like I read yesterday,
It's been reported.
The one that happened to the Lpr University again.
Mm-hmm.
So there are so many allegations of corruption keep coming up. The mountain keep climbing up. So there's a need for the government to stand strong through the executive branch to rather fight the corruption and prosecute people to the fullest. If you set an example of one or two persons, then you see how that effect will kind of a little bit watered down or trickled down. But on those setting as an example, you keep prosecuting, you see, holding people, but not when they're accountable, people still enjoy the morale of it. So I think the government need to really stand strong, like the president said, he's not there for 2029, but to send the Liberian people. They need to really stand strong to fight the allegation of issue of corruption in Liberia. To close on that.
Okay.
Thank you, Dago. So can I respond quickly?
At least
let me get a caller off, then to carry on.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller.
Hello, thank you for the show. This is Baby Paul. No, Mr. Toto. So shipping your field government probably on somebody, on group of people. You said no sector coming in our country for your government. So start taking blame. Instead of coming on the show, apologize to the Liberian people that you feel. You know, instead of this thing happen, then you want to start about shipping blame. Look, Terry, it is so sorrowful to the extent when I listen to you, I can wonder whether you really the drink have a burger, you have a drink. Look at somebody appointed your own government appointment. You know who appointed, man?
I pray in Israel.
Everything can only show you talk about that. Your own government are appointed somebody. Listen here. You know what I say appointed. Or you don't even know that all the technical positions in the country, the president can know everything. You know? So, let me tell you something. Your government still. Your government still to the extent that the total. About I said, I'm not listening to you. Think God said, Mr. Bago, you always come to yourself. Moses, on the show, all that thing talking, you're saying no. Think God, you say confessing. You have to speak out. You're not speaking out here. Sorry, now you lose over here. I hear you saying, I get it for children. You'll be more for children, sorry. This one, all that dream you having, you now have no dream again. Thank you for the show.
Thank you.
So you swing the man.
Yeah.
Okay, Victor, now we go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. So listen, let me start with how Dr. Toto concluded. He is lamenting the astronomical occurrences of corruption in this under this government, but yet he's not embarrassed. That's okay. That's how he feels about it. But let me come to the EULA thing. Mr. So I sent you the letter, the release that many people are referencing. This release came out back in December. This is December 9th. Remember, the Supreme Court ruling came out on December 6th that declared both sides to be ultra vires outside of the Constitution and urging all sides to what? To return to status quo because they were both outside the Constitution. And yet, after that ruling, the regime speaker and other people proceeded to do other things, even though they had told them to stop. First of all, I thought the confusion was the Supreme Court telling both sides to stop. COFA has done nothing since October when they try to remove him. All he has done is to insist to be removed properly. It is when the regime speaker side that's doing everything, recalling people from, they're doing everything. So if anything, they needed to stop. So in that release, we are urging all sides to take heed and pay attention to the Supreme Court ruling. And in spite of the ruling, if they continue to act outside of the Constitution, we think those who will be found to be significantly responsible for this nonsense, they should be brought to book. The international community should consider imposing a visa restriction and possibly sanctions. We did not call on the international or the EU. We haven't even talked to them. This is during Biden time. This is December. We did not ask for sanctions, not at all. But we did say yes, there should be targeted sanctions if people continue to. You yourself, you disagree. You just said that right here. You disagree with what is happening at the Capitol. It's embarrassing. It is shameful. It doesn't have to come to that. It didn't have to. And yet, this is where we are since October. This nonsense has been going on. So that's what's in the release. So we did not call for sanctions on the government. It's very clear. I sent that release to Mr. So. You know, you don't put it on the screen, but that's the release I believe you're referencing. We met with the vice president and we said the same thing this going weekend in Philadelphia.
Wow.
That we're fed up with what is happening. We're fed up with the corruption. They need to do something about it. Everyone here agrees. There is a lot happening that this government should be doing and taking care of. So that's how we issued that release. But that was back in December. And it was not calling for sanction on the government.
Okay, let's go to the caller now. Go to Mr. Bacon, Terry, and the caller. Are you there? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. This is Chulukia calling from Virginia.
Hey, Mr.
I just want to have Mr. Terry question. He said that Joseph Baga is better than Joe Weir. So the comparison is wrong. They both of them look the same. If you have 40 years experience and you're running your government, you had a 2-year-old baby. People still there, you're not doing nothing. Then what's the difference between you and John Weir? The only difference is maybe because Baga is more educated than John Weir, and he's been in government for long. So let him explain to us how is Baga better than John Weir? That's the question I have for Mr. Terry.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. K. All right, Mr. Bacon.
Yes.
I guess
Moses brought up something in which, of course, it need to be addressed, especially when it comes to the accident issues that in Liberia. This is how I look at it from a different perspective. It is about time. It comes down to the same thing we've been talking here: corruption and organized crime, work kind of. Here is insurance company in that country. Even if you go to Liberia, you buy your insurance, you don't even know who your carrier is. To be honest with you. You didn't know who your carrier is. All you know, you had insurance. So to say, yes, the insurance company, yes, the address and everything. No, none of the things have been addressed. And the insurance company is supposed to be working with the government to put policy in place. I mean, I know in this country, the insurance detect to how, when, and how you get your insurance. So this is not the first time happening. Well, November, I think it was November, October. In Toronto, where we lost about 66 people in Toronto. So the accident is about time the insurance company to come up with good policy to be able to work with the government, or the police to come up with policy to work in collaboration with the safety department. And these are the things we need to put in place, because innocent people are dying and the reckless people are dying. And there's no, I don't know whether they have insurance, but I know most guys in Liberia at this time have the insurance. So I don't know whether they get Highway Institute or safety, but we need to put this thing in place so that this thing is too much alive. In that same place, in that Boston, right up that hill where the accident happened, there were normally her husband died within that same area. So that place is accident proof. And it's what time for all the, if the accident is happening, how the thing is happening in that same place. No, let me just finish 1 second. If you look at Tommy Bonnet, that occurred, it stayed there up to this time. Where Tommy Bonnet occurred, they call it Tommy Bonnet occurred in Kakata Highway. Up to this time, we are not even doing anything about it. So these things, it is time for, look, we got qualified people in Liberia who can do the research and say, look, this is need to be done. for our people not to be losing life. I mean, it is important that we do this thing for our people. Thank you.
Okay. Let's take the last caller and then we can do the round for the rest of the events. Mr. Davis, good evening.
So how you doing?
Good. Why your friend this evening? Why he left?
We don't know. Yeah, this is thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. This is unbelievable.
I had to make a business entry, that's it.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. All of them is same. All of them is same. Go ahead. Business schedule.
Tonight, I want to say thank you for the show tonight concerning discussing the country. But the reason why I call, one of the reasons why I call is the two last callers, Breakable and the last person that just left the land. They said, the last person said, their government and Georgia, can you compare Georgia and Boaka government is the same? No. Maybe he's speaking out of ignorance. This government, the difference between the government and the Georgia government, their government holding people accountable for what they are doing. Shut up. One government official that Georgia suspended for corruption in our country. We never saw that. And the second point are there, people are not dying. Others are not dying because they are doing their work. That's the difference are there. And the third thing are there, the person is not trying. Once for they getting using the country money in any kind of way that you need to go for programs or a trip for 1 month or 2 months. Fourth, we had a responsible leadership that listening to the people. They are now haunting. They getting their opponent. They are now haunting your opposition. Their government, at least the member that brought their government to power, we can condemn the government and the government can listen to that. The two different comparisons are over there. Compared to the CDC, because the RCDC, even you are key member of CDC, you speak against the government, they will haunt you. Like for what happened between Moluba Molu came by and said I was a legator. But at the end of the day, the president kept me fired up. It's not that the government, when the vice president working with the president, Joel Howard could remember she was all on the air here, complaining that she couldn't get her supply, she couldn't get her support. But I mean, we thank God for the whole man. His experience, he may be slow, but he listened. Even from both opposition, no position, and the e-position, he listened to them. There's another major, we had a responsible government. We all need to hold the government foot on fire to do more because if somebody steal, you suspend it, they go with the money, another person say, oh, the man, get it other time myself, do my So we all should hold the government feet on fire to be able to prosecute these people because when you prosecute 1 or 2 persons, people will be able, the fear will grab them. But we suspend them, they go with their money and sit down. That means $1 million or $500,000 you suspend, you have nothing to lose. That's my point I want to make tonight, but I thank you for the show. I really enjoyed the discussion tonight. Thank you.
So you say your man busy tonight?
Yeah, you had a business schedule.
Like what?
Why in that private life? Where you want to go out with the what?
The workshop?
The presidential, so you have
the presidential. Thank you.
Okay. Karen, you also being in they are already you two being initiated, so that's okay. Man, busy doing what? Thank you.
Thank you for the show.
Okay, guys. How important, how consequential the decision from the Supreme Court? Anybody can forecast what you think will go? We have a good predictor here. Terry, any vision you have seen? You haven't seen any vision with respect to that?
No, I don't see. I've not seen any vision. But what I'm reading now is Rachel Kuhn has just received the Ghanaian Speaker of the House of Parliament. So people who think that they are not legitimate, they got to think again. And the Sierra Leone Parliament also sending delegates for parliamentary engagements. So, and all of that. But again, I also saw a letter from the Supreme Court. I think it's a writ of petition or so from the Supreme Court addressing Rachel Kuhn as Speaker. I think I share it in a group. If I didn't share it, I will share it. So, this is just a game these guys are playing, and do not fall for it. don't fall for it. You understand that? And I'm not saying the Supreme Court may not be objective and say, you know what, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, I think the Supreme Court will say that we told you to go and handle your business because you guys are separate branch of government. In my opinion, you understand? They might say, well, we said that both of you guys are ultra virus, but we told you to go and settle your matter and all of that. And that again will still leave space for for the impasse to continue. You see, the key factor here to solving the problem is also simple. Honorable Kofa, your friends don't want you, but now you're supposed to know you have been trying to raise a quorum just to get, I think, the 28 or 27, just to add, I think, 7 persons or 8 persons on the number. Okay, you say the people don't have 49. We agree. But do you, who was the speaker, do you have the ballot number to conduct a quorum that will just take at least 8 or 7 persons? You're not able to raise 8 or 7 persons as a speaker for more than 5 months. Then you say you can't resign? Then you are the one. That's why I said he is the, I agree with Mr. Sekbe 100% that he is the cause for the Capitol burning. Honor his gavel. The Capitol building got burned because he refused to resign. He said he followed me the rule of law. Have you guys ever followed rule of law in our building? The last time I checked, there was a video flowing online from he himself saying that the Supreme Court cannot involve in political matter. This is the Supreme Court you're running to. That's a contradiction. So what kind of contradiction? So you see, that's why I say the president is weak. Because I doubt that this could have happened under President Weah. I doubt it. President Weah government, I doubt that this could have happened. And the guy who said President, let me tell you something. By now, President Weah had condominiums. Unfortunately, JMB is not building houses. In as much as we can lash at JMB, you know why we lash at him? Because we believe that he's more responsible than former President Weah. So we demand more of him. The same way we demanding more of former President Sirleaf, we have the right to demand more of him because we know that he can do better. That does not give you the right to think that we are supporting Joe Weah to come back because JMB is not going to meet up with his target. Even if JMB do not meet up with his target, we are convinced that JMB will meet up at least 60 to 50%, which will be better 10 times than President Weah. We think about the hydro, but by October, the hydro, we're going to have stable electricity at least for most of the. In the period of 6 years, President Weah could not open the road. Right now, people are driving. Your man, Mr. So, your senator from Zwedru, admitted that people are driving from Maria. He took 1 day to drive from Maria straight to Kanwe in Zwedru. That is a plot. So how can you compare? How can you compare, the former president to JMB? It's not possible. But we lash at JMB because we demand more. We want him to do more. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just pick this last caller here to see what he or she has to say. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Joseph Tamba, and I call you from Moscow, Ohio.
Okay, Mr. Tamba, how are you this evening?
I'm good.
Okay, let's hear you.
How are you guys doing?
Great. Let's hear you. I'm sure there's a reason for your call this evening. Where are we going wrong?
Yeah, there are some of your panelists that still carry the message, their election message as facts. Right down for the 1 year, 3 months, you cannot compare Weah to Waka. Waka has failed for 1 good year. One, civil rights, Waka failed. Respect for the rule of law, Waka is failing every day. He said, some of them saying that nobody is dying. Do you know how many persons the police shooting? let them name 3 persons that the police shot dead during weird time for the 6 years.
One of security commit suicide, 3 security commit suicide. So we check it.
Committing suicide and police shooting somebody, that's 2 different things. That's the problem with you guys.
People die.
Guys, let's allow him to speak, and then maybe you want to close or something, then we can do that. Go ahead.
You see, so Mr. So, you see where I'm coming from? Somebody commits suicide and police shooting people to death. Are they the same? They are far from each other. Even in the investigation, the report will not be the same.
Right.
So we should stop supporting the wrongdoing, just as they said, we are people were supporting the wrong thing and we are went wrong. They should stop supporting the wrong thing today. Waka is failing on a daily basis. Price control, he doesn't have it. Those essential needs of the citizen, Waka does not have it. Yet Waka had been in government for 45 years or more. He should have been the best person that will sit in government and organize his government in a way that things will not be happening. Security officers fighting each other, there's no discipline. Threatening each other with guns, there's no discipline. That did not happen during weird days. I didn't see it. Maybe he saw it. He can bring my memory to it. So you guys should stop, banning airborne with Joseph Waka administration right now. The most important thing is our country. Let's pick the fight. Election day, you can go to Liberia and vote for your president. But speak the truth. Then someone says, Waka educated than we are. Let's put their credentials, their documents together on the table. Let's put their working experience, their working ability together on the table. We have worked with the citizens for 6 years. People protested, gave them the right to protest.
Okay.
Waka is not giving you the right to protest today.
Mr. Tamat, thank you so much. But I mean, you will always see it. Feel free to call. As long as the Liberal is not here, trust me, your calls will be answered. You will allow you to speak. But you know the man who does say Channing home.
Yeah, that's matter. When he on the show, I want him to engage me.
That better talk about father. That better talk about that talk about father Kissy Bear.
Look, that man is a real kissy man. That's a real. Did he say his name is Chama?
From local? No.
No, you're not.
Man from Cape Mount. I was born in Cape Mount. I spent all my life in Cape Mount. I know only Cape Mount. I don't know local.
Why you about Thomas Farah Gizi man?
Thomas Farah get a kissy trap. The one that go into
Thomas Farah saying that he came from Foya. So he and myself will not the same kissy.
Thomas Farah from Foya.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Okay, guys. I think it was a great. We will over the time. Let's do a quick wrap up for the rest of the evening, and then we can go. I think Terry, the one close, started it. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
I don't want you to let listen to these guys.
Okay, you know what? I agree with you.
So let me go.
Let them go on and Tabata, then we'll kind of see.
Let me go.
Who used to bleach to clean their mess.
Yeah, good show.
That's why I'll be listening to each other.
Good discussion today. Like I said earlier on, the issue of the Supreme Court will be very important in weekend. We have discussed the issue when it comes to the Supreme Court. We know for the one front against what happened at the Capitol building. But at the end of the day, the order is on. Speaker Kofa, you have lost the majority of your colleagues. Even if the Supreme Court speeded this coming Friday, your colleagues still don't want to work with you. The impasse is just could continue. If I were here, the numeral advice, a court that be coming in, Speaker Kofa just resign aside. Let the country move forward and get all of the dark, the chaos. The issue of corruption also too, alleged corruption is a concern. Like I said, it's concerning, and we should speak on it and discuss the issue in a public forum gathering like we're discussing, to hold the government feet on the fire, to take some decisive action, to prosecute people, and make sure people face the weight of the law when they are fall in this sexual allegation. I think that's the only way our country will move forward, because it affecting all the various sectors in Liberia. In the private sector, you look at the issue of corruption. You come in government, in our institution, in schools, corruption. It's just everywhere. There's a need for the government to raise its to do the needful thing that the people need. 2029 is coming. There are a lot of political institution coming up now. We see most of they come out with political institution. All of things. People are looking up now for new direction. If the government cannot see and make decisive direction for them, I don't know how to do not go be for United Party. About United Partisan, and for different political party, I would support Joseph Boyka because he could leadership. That's all. So good discussion tonight.
Okay, thank you so much. Who next?
I can go.
I'll go.
I've done already.
I'll go.
I can go.
Well,
Okay.
thank you. Thank you for the time. Thanks to all of our listeners. Thanks for your patience with us. My closing thought, at least, comes from two perspectives. That is, one, the corruption. At least there are a lot of public awareness that are coming up. At least it's been reported now, and we're reporting. Hopefully, the government will begin to look at the issue of accountability, because the more they report it, the more conscientized the government is going to become, so that it can start putting things in place. One of the things that I think that the government tried to do is the assets recovery first and foremost. And that kind of had a stall for a little bit, because the statute was not created and it had to go through the court process. So hopefully, now that that is over and we see the people like Samuel Toure and these guys going to court, we're being an example. We're not saying he's guilty, but at least the process is there. And that will go down as a precedent that when you steal or you commit any corrupt act, that you will have to go through the judicial system and let the judges make those decisions, or jury of your peers will make the decisions as to whether you rob the country or not. The other thing is that the one coming from Lpr is good. At least we never heard from Sano, Lpr, or Buchanan, what you call it, Kepamas, the corruption that were going on. So I think these are positive for the country that these are being reported. My second piece here has to do with the Supreme Court. I've said it, I can't say it enough, that we have three equal branches of government. My anticipation for what is to happen on Friday would be the same thing. The judicial cannot get involved, as the executive shouldn't get involved. It's okay that they can negotiate. Barker could have negotiated, but knowing Barker, he wanted to stay away from it and not be drawn into all of those things. And we saw the same thing here the other day when Trump went to give his State of the Nation to the joint session. There was a Democrat who stood up and started to challenge Trump. And what happened? They're looking to suspend this guy now. But Marguerite Taylor Greene did it to the previous administration 2 times, more than once. And no one, the speaker did not say they were going to do anything. So we see these things happening, and it depends on who is there. So they're not, I don't think the Supreme Court is going to come up with any verdict to say who is speaker and who is not speaker. They're going to leave it as is, because the rules says that they elect the speaker and they lead, and they can change the speaker whenever they want. And they just need to go through their rules and be able to do it.
Thank you so
much. I just want to encourage people that we need to put our arms together and start looking at how we can create means to start helping. And Jerry and myself spoke to that recently, and we're going to start taking some initiative to do something for corrective actions or prevention. We're going to start putting together some prevention measures for public safety.
Thank you so much. Okay, Mr. Bacon, you done already?
No, Terry said you were going to go, but I can go.
Terry already went.
Okay.
Whoever it doesn't matter who wants to go first.
When did Jerry go?
Okay. Yeah, let me go, Mr. Bacon. Yeah, I wanted to respond to that guy. This is Soup in 2019. Soup. Let me read for you quickly. It is now more palpable to prevail that the Republic stands as a critical junction, a time in our history when our country and economy are crumbling due to the heightening incompetence and bad governance. We either struggle to usher in a new social revolution based on popular power and genuine democracy by propelling the mass of our people into history and resisting a brazen attempt by the butchery of our democracy by President Weah and his gang of outlaw simpletons, or the Republic race slipping into the cesspool of despotism and plunder. This is Soup from the university. That was
where are they now, Terry? Where is Soup now?
No, listen now.
No, I want you to tell me where are they now? Are they sleeping?
Remember, you can't get him in, Mr.
No, I want you to tell me. You can't bring a dead.
Let the man do a closing argument.
Soup is dead. Why is Soup dead? Because Alarito is in the government.
You're the people who started the campus.
All of them are in the government now.
That your foundation, the people are going back today, that your foundation. You're the ones that.
But you can't negate the fact that Soup spoke.
Yeah, but these are the people who started Soup on campus.
Right.
You know,
the people call for the impeachment of
President. Guys, let him make. Sorry, that your closing statement, right? You making a. Okay, I don't know what. So who questioning it? Go ahead. You don't?
So Soup is saying that the man should be impeached because this was when they were illegally removing Cabinet Janet 1 year after his elections. So when you talk about outlaw, when you talk about lawlessness, you know, Soup is calling you a gang of outlaw people and all of that. That was what they get. So when you guys be talking these things, I can be thinking, what you're taking from? Because this government, in as much as we have some intricate cases and all the kind of stuff, there is balance of control. We see people protesting, no hot water pump and all the kind of thing, unless you cross the line. Security gave you line. But we agree that this government, we demand more. For me, I demand more from President Boka. This is not what I expected him to produce. Right. That's the reason why we're on the show, to tell him that, Mr. President, this is not the way we expected you to proceed. But to say you want to compare former President Weah government to, no, I don't think you can do that. Because when you talk about all law, people will flock and almost burn in their house by a representative of President Weah government with gangs, barricade the house of Telia Ure to burn her alive. Nothing came out of it. Then you telling me about all law? I don't see where we have that in President Boka government. But it's okay. Thank you for the show, Mr. Su.
Oh boy. Okay. Dr. Toto?
I told you.
Oh, you done already? Yeah. Oh, okay. So most of them done. June.
I'm not done yet. Yeah. You see, when people call here, let them get a story together. Sometimes they forget. In Grand Gide, one of George Weah administration, police were killing police. NSA were fighting police officers. Somebody got killed in Grand Gide. It is there. That's a fact. So people just kind of fabricate story. I mean, their data are there. for the time I've been in law enforcement, there's not a single time or special security service now called EPS to commit suicide on 3 times. 3 times.
Actually,
Alleged
suicide.
No, that's not alleged. They commit suicide. They commit suicide. They went in Tabata. They came from Tabata. They went to Tabata. Yeah, in Tabata. I can mean the other guy on the oral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or in rehab. So these are the facts. But that's not the issue right now. My issue right now is who is a surrogate for the president that would to stimulate his agenda. That is my concern, and that is worrisome to me personally. Because when the president appoints you to the position, you now have to babysit you. And it is time for them to take the president out of the bubble. Yeah. Taking out of the bubble. Because he have to set the agenda to the Liberian people. Until the agenda has been sold to the Liberian people, it's time for them to sell it to the Liberian people. And it's time for them to take the president out of the bubble. The president can go to, like I said, my opening statement, he can go to the nearby 5 or 6 countries that are around, to the west. And the message, he can go as far as in Tapeta. Tapeta is now, it's the mid, that'll be the southeast or the central of Liberia. So, folks, it is time for people to say the president. That's that worrisome about me. Yeah, but come for leadership, yeah, Buckeye, hey, Excellency, it meant with experience. It's not ability or experience, it's an access. So for people to come here and question what is Buckeye, and you got 45 years, got 50 years, 60 year experience. You want to compare that? I'm not gonna call names here tonight. Experience? The man got wisdom. Man with integrity, where the late president of Ghana called him Mr. Snow White. And hair is clean. And you're gonna come here and talk Tabata tonight, corruption or this. Are you serious? On Baka administration, people have been prosecuted, people have been arrested. So folks, fasten your seatbelt. You didn't see nothing yet. Baka might be slow, but he made sure things are executed. Have a good night.
Thank you. Okay, so Dr. Nangwe, the message we should fasten our seat. My words already, my tongue is coming out. This is to tell us how they're going to.
Mr. Nangwe, I think you are the perfect replacement of Mr. So co-host because his co-hosts have eventually evaporated.
You know, CEO.
So, this is quite interesting. There is a reason the purpose of the liberal departure here tonight was calculated. It was intentional. He knew what was coming. You can see how disconnected these gentlemen are in their thoughts, stuttering by force to find words to fit in their narratives in order to appeal to the public.
So are you making your closing remarks, or are you going to let him make his statement?
I'm setting the stage for my guy to speak. What
he need? Your guy?
Why does he keep interrupting?
So I just want to find out who is he. That's why I want to find out who is your guy. That's why I want to know who is he.
It's none of your business. I say I'm laying the foundation.
Oh, that now you want to know it's none of your business when what is liberal I say you going to business you wanted to know?
You were never interrupted, my brother.
Oh,
you told me
I
told you my stomach is already pinning because you see, so Victor, this is a clear indication that we're going to have these sort of endless crises, failed leadership, failed policy, lack of vision, and you see these surrogate all day, all night. They blind themselves to the reality because they are politically driven. That's exactly what you are saying. You like the Toto, Moses from Delaware, Jerry Bacon from Rhode Island, Pastor Collins from Minnesota, and you have the liberal from Sacramento. If you have this mixture of people from different sections, you should know how chaotic it's going to be. Let me hear you before we go.
Thank you very much, CEO. It's good to be here. First of all, let me debunk this security expert sitting right here. Melvin Early was an EPS officer who died mysteriously in April under the Barker government. That death has not been investigated. That's an EPS officer. You probably forgot that. Check it out when you leave here. Melvin Early. So let me first thank Dr. Toto. He brought up the Yola thing. They did well during the term. He was board chair for quite a while, and they did it. But I want to remind him what we're doing here is no different from what they did. We're simply advocating for the voiceless, and that's what they did. So, and I got to clarify that we did not call for sanctions against the government, but we call for targeted sanctions, and we're not afraid to say so. Anybody who is found to perpetuate nonsense that will hold our country back, let them be sanctioned. They have to pay. These people are serving at our pleasure. We're not begging them to do. That's the law. They have to do what they themselves campaign for, and they got elected. So yeah, we will push anybody who will continue to hold our country back while they're enjoying. They go to Dubai. They go all over the place, and our people are suffering. Let them impose visa restrictions, seize their assets, impose sanctions on them. We'll continue to say that. Let me come back to the Capitol burning. Terry here mentioned the Capitol building. He said, the Capitol burned because Kofi refused to resign. If that is not an admission of guilt, we burned the building because Kofi refused to resign. I'm sure that's what he's trying to tell us. So, I think there it is right there. And he talked about driving from Monrovia to Conway. Look, I come from Hapo. I come from Barobo. In the summertime, you can drive from Monrovia, drive to Conway, drive to Calocan, go to Pligo, go to Barobo. You can do that in one day. But the test of the roads come in when the rain seasons come, Terry. You say you're from the southeast. So when you said here, be like Tamba. Speak the truth. Speak the truth. Anyway, as I close, CEO, let me quickly come back to the Supreme Court. I think that's what you're asking. So ever since November 6th, the Supreme Court has been telegraphing their actual intent in this measure. They refuse to attend the President's State of the Nation address. That was a message. Then Judge Bassey went to attend Senator Prince Johnson's funeral. He made it clear what they intended to do. And then just 2 days ago, the Chief Justice at the opening of the March term of the court, what did she do? She apologized for being so dubious in their delivery, as in, for instance, the December 6th decision that called all sides ultra vires. So, gentlemen, when we come on here, let's have fun, I agree, but let's call the spade and speak the facts as they are, Jerry. So, Liberal ran away, but, whenever he's on here, I will come. You'll probably run away from your own show because I will come and I will tell it to him like it is. Thank you very much. Thanks to our audience as well.
All right. We'll always give them the opportunity to expose themselves, to be politically correct. They profess to abandon Messiah to lead on to the promised land. But here we are in a desert land. And Jerry, looking in the eyes of the camera, say, you will not see nothing here. You know what I mean? When people in that closer to leadership,
I said the coup year to come. I said the coup year to come.
We want to see the worst out of them.
The
And
coup year
who
to
can
come.
wrong? Who can wrong? Stay survivor of the fittest. But we'll keep them holding it. You see how all of them looking? White beard, wearing glasses, and all of that. There are books all around. Beyond them, the pastor on the other side fasting and praying. And you can, there's some sort of Baptist bishop. Man, you need to stop this sort of behavior. This president is not in charge, and we need to say it. I want the country to succeed. You see, young Martin, the real people who fought for this guy, this is what they pushed them, they shoved them away. Martin Colley, the what is auditor guy? What's his name? Molu, all of that. You say the Mahmoud, Holy Ghost fire him because you were to talk something. You are ready to talk now. Who put a woman? He put himself into a bubble.
I meant to make mention of what Victor said about sanctions. I don't know since when Eula has been involved in requesting for sanctions, but we know that most of the people who are sanctions serving in the legislative under the CDC party.
Come on your liberal show tomorrow, and you can continue that narrative. We are not going to relegate this show. You guys feel miserable tonight. The liberal ran away.
Those people
no juice in the house to drink. The children, you know what? It made me say, oh, the church, they took their juice and put it in their marrow and like the door. So you wanted to drink, no way to drink juice.
No way to drink. It became disgruntled.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, man.
I will be here on Sunday. I believe he was here yesterday. These business, these things, when you're doing the information, is all about processing and be able to make informed decision. And I call him today. Look, you had the show was wonderful yesterday. Let's give the audience time to process it, to think about it, and then we'll bring back, because the essence of this thing for people to absorb and be able to make informed decision. But I think we're going to have him. I see you listen to the deliberate question. Small ball like that is disgusting. This guy behavior. I don't know why Terry, Dr. Toto, Dr. Toto come out here to say, what you say?
Okay, good night.
You're not gonna let you say.
You know, liberal washing. You're not saying the link tomorrow.
I will get them to run away. Oh yeah, because the liberal
he's going to follow you. Liberal will stop sending all the things.
Islamic guy, the guy when you talk something good, you can't say the co-host will come to me and say, please send me the link. I'll go to your man. Don't come to me.
I know, right?
Look, be here with him tomorrow, because he left from here. He's going to talk crazy stuff here tomorrow. Trust me. He's going to blow the trumpet.
Maybe they're preparing a goat for Friday, so you never know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Yeah, even his slaughter goat. Okay. Thank you so
much.
Well, that does it this evening. We want to thank you so much. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is still like Republic Radio. Thank you so much. I believe it's a F4 Achime. I'm not sure what else we interacted with you, but if this is the first time, we are excited to have you. Wholeheartedly welcome to Vincent, Amos, Joyce. Good evening to Moses, all of you guys. Thank you so much for your time, for staying with us here this evening. Ketot, Joe, and of course, Sis Rita. Look, Liberal had a very good day. The reason you see me energized today, I would say my sis, not even sister again, mom. You know, I'm not like you. You have to drive, and that's why you're always jealous of me. Other my sisters, they are here. I am in the middle. One in front, one behind, going to work. I can stop making any emergency learning. Today was a birthday. And I mean, the food was just the fufu, the days, the rice bread, the salad, whatever you think about. Tonight here, I cannot even breathe right now. But I was sending you the picture of the dish. All right. No, I'm not gonna do it, because I do it. I know you will come here and put it up here, so I'm not gonna do it. So we say it, Sister, happy birthday. Thank you for everything. For the family, for the tolerance, for the level of patience that you have in the kid. We say happy birthday as you observe this date. Our prayers and thoughts, more years to come. We say thank you so much. This weekend going to be a crazy, exciting weekend here as well, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island, where the Basin District New England chapter will be inaugurating their leader as well. We'll also be covering the funeral service here, homegoing here. And we are being told, this is so pitiful, a four-month gospel artist, the Nema Princess, the late Princess Minister Jemima and Walcott, our understanding going to be laid to rest. What are you calling for? My show finished. What are you calling for?
I want to say I'm not going to my sister. I don't get time for your show business. Happy birthday, sister. Happy birthday, truly.
Bah, now you've seen one count talk about where were you? Again, you not know me. So, Madam, she gonna be the late Jimaman Walker, the Nima Princess gospel artist. Our understanding talk to former sponsor. Today will also be laid to rest. Our understanding this weekend in her own town, that is in Nima County. Very, very, very sad. She was such an amazing and Chris Sinkota, may her soul rest in peace. That Minister Jimamant Walker will be laid to rest again this weekend. Until then, I am your lead host and presenter, Tafonso Zienso, of the Library Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We say thank you for being here so with us this evening. We're going to be bringing you some beautiful live images right here from the ocean state of Rhode Island this weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the news is here. What? The news is here. What's going on? March 15th. Say what? March 15th. The inaugurations of the Basin District New England Coordinator, Perk Barnett, and Vice President Patricia So. That is set for the Chandelier Run, a 4-star bar and restaurant. You just heard the songwriter, my boy Chie. Oh yes, my mouth is watering. It will be a big event. Get ready on March 15th in the ocean state of Rhode Island in the beautiful Chandelier Run, a 4-star bar and restaurant for the biggest inaugural ceremony ever to be heard right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. I am excited. I will be there, and you must also be there. Listen to this from the former national president Chantal Tao in this news bulletin.
Chapter. So, I'm Shanty. I'm ready to host and help you.
All right. There you have it. We don't just want to talk national politics. We go into our communities to see what is happening as well. Well, if you are here in the USA, you're in Liberia, you get a business, you get an event, reunions, conventions, weddings, graduations, whatever memorable service or ceremony that you have in mind. Nowhere is limited. We are unlimited. In US, Canada, Liberia, you want us to do work for you, let us know. We are reachable. We can go anywhere to provide that coverage. We want to work for you, and then you give us something. And this is why we don't just throw our cash out or Zelle here. Not that we do not have, but we feel that we must provide a service, we must give you something in return. And so that is another patronage to this network. Let us know if you get an event, anything that you have, you get a business, you want to advertise with us, and there's no way, we will find that way out. But we want to render, we want to give you a service, and we don't want free money. There's no free money. I'm not sure whoever found any money free. So we are not going to come out here. We're not going to be backed. Not that we do not need it, we need it, but when people out of their own volition, you give it, we will hold it. Like today, you saw our guys, they went around the cemetery today. As we all know, it's a decoration. Yesterday was a decoration day. It's a new day in Liberia. And they went to a couple of places, and we are trying to do everything possible to talk to management of those cemeteries. There was one in, I believe, Duporo, our guy went to today. Much better, but I think people, they must have some sort of decency for the dead. And those places, when you go bury, sometimes 2,000-3,000, and there is no care. So what's happening? Our understanding, the city's management is responsible for those places in collaboration with the community. Those information yet to be verified. But hopefully, we'll reach out to them as to what they can do, how they can get those places. I mean, those places should be. We see the cemetery there here. You go there, not because someone is there and you just have it. They're just burying people over people, and you only decoration day you see people go there. So if you have someone that is buried within Morovia and most of these other places, it's just a responsibility. If you just wait for decoration day, you may most likely, depending on the sort of grave that you have there, you might not even find your person's grave because they're just doing all kinds of stuff. That is bad. There's so many problems in the country. There are so many things, these things been happening over and over. I think it is time that some major steps been taken to get these situations under control. And also to remember to advertise a program here, Developing to Liberia. It will be coming.
Hello and welcome to Lpr-Tv newest program titled Developing Liberia. Developing Liberia will come your way every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Your producer is Dr. Jones Malay, and CEO Afonso Zionso at control. Developing Liberia will focus on the way forward, on how Liberia can be developed. Developing Liberia will include, but not limited, to the definition of development from Liberians' perspective.
There you have it, Developing Liberia. In as much we critique, we also think on the bigger scale as to how and what we want to see our country to be like. We are working on the technical details, and as soon as that is concluded, Dr. Mali will be rolling out his program here, Developing Liberia. This is what the Liberal and his allies should be doing, but they are not. No vision. They come here and talk tabata all night and stop other voices from being heard. It's wrong. It is unacceptable. But we are thinking on the bigger scale. So I saw those technical details are worked out. Dr. Mali will be here with our program, Developing Liberia. We want to see a better Liberia. We want to see a Liberia that each and everyone will have an equal opportunities to live in, not few group of people. You either have to be part of the Bear Wheel Boys, or if you are not part of it, then you are excluded in the process. We don't want to see a divisive Liberia. So we want to see a Liberia, whether you are Seditian, you are Wiashan, you are Boashan, or UPIS, or whatever, whoever you are, you have the right to live in a developing process of Liberia, or to be a Liberian. That's what we want to see. And that's why we're going to be having that conversation. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. Again, our prayers and thought go out to the bereaved family. of Jemima. I think this is one of her songs here. Let me just play this song here. See, I believe that's it.
DJ Square Production Classic. Oh, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait till I come. Don't wait, don't wait, my brother, don't wait, I said don't wait, don't wait till I'm in the hospital, don't wait, I'm dying, don't wait, I need your help, don't wait till I die. Please help me, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait, don't wait, I need you help me now, don't wait till I die. Don't wait till I die before you help me. If you want to help me right now. Don't wait, go sister, don't wait. I said don't wait, my brethren, don't wait. Don't wait till I die before you help me. I need your help. Help me right now. I'm in the hospital, lying on my sick bed. I just need you to help me one my life, and Jehovah will bless you. Don't wait till I die to rain cast and get my body to the grave. I said don't wait when I die before you praise me. Don't wait when I die to cry for me, man. Oh, don't wait when I die to post my photo. But she could not get the treatment she needed. Finally, her son took her to the hospital. And the doctor said they should prefer pound of blood. But this woman could not afford the money. Oh yeah, giving her son could not afford the money. He left the mother at the hospital. He went to family there. He went Johnny Place. He said, Uncle, my mother is at you. I left my mother at the hospital. And the doctor said, we should bring Papa
That's the late princess of Nima County, the late minister Jemima Walcott. Beautiful, beautiful lady, gospel artist who has done so much. I didn't have a chance to meet her. Even when my mother died, she did a song for her. After started following her, she's a strong follower of the Liberia Public Radio as well. She took sick. We was to attend the funeral to have performed, and out of the sudden, she got sick. But even at that, she said, I know the perception, sometimes people in America, they trust people to do something, and you have sent this money to do this song, but right now I am sick. And I said, that's okay. There are better days ahead. Just 3 days before I could leave, this lady dragged herself in studio because she wanted to keep to her word, and she did this song.
Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, we miss you, Mama. Mama, Mama, rest in peace. Mama, we say rest on, Mama. We say rest on. Take your rest, Mama.
There you have it. There you have it. What a sigh, because she did everything possible that she could do, even though she didn't attend. But she kept her promise. I'm going to do it, and out of even though I like it, that's okay. You can do it anytime. Yet she dragged herself, saw the food in studio. That is to make sure she kept her promise. She kept to her word. May her soul rest in peace. We are expecting to get some images of her homegoing. It simply is our understanding is in her own time. By understanding the network issue, there's a problem, but they're going to be doing some recordings, and the sponsor promised to send us images. In fact, they were in there the week we had a conversation. The following week said to do a video version of this, and all of a sudden, the Sunday we just heard that news. So our prayers and thought goes out to her, to the people of Nima County, to the gospel industry. It's a big blow. That's how we're going to leave here this evening. Clarence, your guy, going to be here tomorrow. You're going to have a next time. He's going to come with his tabata. That is okay. But I will put it in check. You know the reason why he ran away here this evening. And you too brave to come here, that because he's busy. Busy doing what? Cooking good soup. Have a pleasant night, and by God's willing, we'll be back here same time, same station. Bye-bye.